And now,
ladies and gentlemen,
please fasten your seatbelts.
Welcome to PreneurCast.
You know, business cards being swapped, beers being drunk.
Can I say a nasty word? Can I say procrastination?
With Pete Williams and Don Gosher.
how well did that go down?
Talk about that entire thing in a very another rant and soapbox episode if you want to.
Visit us online at PreneurMarketing.com.
Hey gang, Pete here. Now let me get straight into this week's episode, as I've only got a few minutes, and this way you can take what I'm about to share with you and implement it right away in your business. Now firstly, Dom's away this week, so I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about him behind his back a little and also remind you about a few different things. Firstly, I want to remind you about noise reduction. Dom and I have spoken about this on a couple of episodes in various spots so far in PreneurCast. And what noise reduction is it's a weekly email that I send out to my list, just helping reduce all the noise that's out there on the web. With Twitter and Facebook and all that sort of stuff, there is so much noise and so much to consume. What I've done is I've put together a weekly email for my subscribers with the top 5 or 6 things that I think are really, really important that popped up online this week. It could be a book that I've read that I think is worth reading. It could be a documentary that has some good lessons in it, or it could be a new online application or tool, or even an article or video worth consuming that might help you grow your business. So noise reduction is something I'm very, very proud of. I try and do it every week. It's available for subscription via RSS. You can check out the blog and subscribe to the RSS feed and consume it in your Google Reader account or something like that. You can also check out the back catalogue, so to speak, of various noise reduction items I've shared. And also you can subscribe to the email list over at noise.re/duction. That's noise.re/duction. DUCTION. So noise.re/duction. So I really encourage you to do that. It's a weekly email. It takes all of about 30 seconds to consume. I give a headline and a brief description of what the article or link's about, and you can just pick out what you think is worthy of your time and attention. So I really encourage you to check out noise reduction. Second thing I want to remind you all about is my book. When I signed the publishing deal with Wiley for my first book, How to Turn Your $1 Million Idea into a Reality, I was able to get in the contract a clause that got me the rights back to the book, which I've been able to actually enact and have the rights back for the book now. So not that long ago, I recorded an audio version of the entire book, or had an audio version recorded, which I've made available completely for free over at PreneurMarketing.com. So if you check out the blog, PreneurMarketing.com, you can go there, you can sign up and download an audio version of the book as well, which covers a whole range of things and was really well received, not only readers, but other sort of marketing greats like Yannick Silva, Brian Tracy, and a whole bunch of other people wrote some amazing feedback. Richard Koch, who wrote the 80-20 Principle, wrote some amazing reviews and testimonials, which I was really, really proud of. So that book's available for you guys completely free as well. The book's done so much for me now, I just want to give it away for free. So you can check that out at PreneurMarketing.com. And thirdly, I've got something really, really, really exciting to share with you. The 7 Levers Calculator. We put the call out a few episodes back after the amazing response we got to the 7 Levers episode for someone, one of our listeners, to actually put together some applications or some websites or some tools people could use to actually play with the 7 Levers and actually work on it in your business. And Lee Turner, over at Lee Turner on Twitter, put together 7leverscalculator.com. That's numeral number 7 leverscalculator.com. And if you go there, you can put in all your details. You can plug in your opt-in rates, your traffic levels, your profitability, your margins, your conversion rates, all that sort of stuff, and play with those numbers there. And it can spit out what your current profits should be in your business, and then also shows you if you just increase each one of those levers by only 10%. Not saying double your business, not saying triple each one of these, just increase it by just 10%. What the bottom line difference will be to your business. So big thanks to Lee for that. It's an awesome, awesome tool, and I'm really proud that one of our listeners as part of our community was able to give back to the community as well by creating this 7leverscalculator.com. So make sure you guys go and check that out as well. And also, send Lee at Lee Turner a tweet to say thanks as well. So that's really, really cool. And speaking of this whole 7 levers thing, I've had a bit of an idea, and And here's what I'm thinking and what I want to share with you. As I mentioned, if you've been playing along at home and you've been enjoying the PreneurCast podcast for a while, you'd be aware of the 2 episodes that have stood out from the pack. And those 2 episodes have been obviously the 7 Levers episode. The amount of feedback we've had for that is just phenomenal. And also the mastermind episode. Out of all the PreneurCasts that Dom and I have recorded so far, these 2 have got the biggest response when it comes to tweets and emails, with people telling us how much they've learned and what they've actually got by implementing these strategies that Dom and I share, which makes us so proud and very, very happy. So I thought I'd run an idea past you all, and I would really love your feedback on this as well. What if we put together these 2 powerful concepts? The power of a structured mastermind group, full of like-minded, goal-orientated entrepreneurs like we all are, and mix that with the power of the 7 levers, and what they can bring your business when implemented into your business over, let's say, a 7-week period. So what I'm thinking is, we create a small mastermind group of maybe 6 or 7 people from the PreneurCast community, listeners like yourself, myself, and Dom. Now, Dom doesn't know this part yet. He's not here, so this is where I'm talking behind his back, and I'm sure he'll be on board. But if we meet each week for around 90 minutes to work on each other's business, every week over a 7-week period, we'll delve deep into each one of these 7 levers, and we'll mastermind using the structured processes that we spoke about in the mastermind episode of how we can implement each of these in everyone's business. So we'll cover things like increasing the traffic to your business, increasing the opt-in rate you're currently getting in your business. We'll talk about different strategies for skyrocketing your sales team's conversion rates. We'll also spend an entire week on ways to increase your average sales value. Talk about ways to make your customers buy more items per sale. And we'll even cover some really cool and easily implementable ideas and ways to increase the number of times your customers buy from you each year. And I'm sure there'll be a ton more stuff which will result in your profits increasing. And as we've spoken about many times, the beauty of the 7 levers, and as you know, is that we only need to increase each one of these elements by just 10%. And it will result in the profits of your business almost doubling. Just a 10% increase on each of the elements almost doubles the business profits. So let me say that again for you. If you haven't already got it from listening to the 7 Levers episode, here's what it will do for you. If you just increase each of the 7 levers by just 10%, the profits you'll be able to take from your business will almost double. So what this means is in just 7 weeks, by just increasing each of these 7 levers by just 10%, you'll be taking home a bunch more cash each and every week. And this is what's happened so far from the people who've just taken the podcast, listened to that and implemented it. The tweets and emails we've received have proven that, and it's really blown my mind and made me so proud, and really reinforces why Dom and I spend the time to actually invest and do this podcast for you guys. But what I'm thinking is this is going to be more than a typical business development course. You normally when you buy a course, you have to invest in it, you read it, and you have to actually go off and implement it on your own. But what I'm thinking is we're going to do this together. So every week, what we could do is we could work on your business together, to make sure you take the right action, implement it the right way, to ensure what we cover is quickly and effectively happening in your business. Now, there's 3 major factors that I think make this important for you and your business right now. And that's what I'm thinking. Firstly, with the economy in its current state, we all know the doom and gloom we hear about the economy. And it's really vital for your business, whether you're an online business, a service-based business, or a bricks and mortar retail store, it's vital to make sure you're getting the most out of what you've already got. And that's what the 7 levers are all about. It's about maximizing what you're currently doing in your business and getting just an extra 10% from each of these 7 levers, which will result in the profits of your business almost doubling. So mix that with the fact that the world is getting smaller. We all know about this, which is making it so much easier for your competition to reach your clients and steal them right out from underneath your nose. So what you need to have is a proven system you can go to, rely on, and implement in your business. So take that with the power of all the amazing online technology these days, like GoToMeeting, where we can conduct this effortlessly, this mastermind group every week, to make sure you not only get the lessons delivered directly to you, no matter where you are in the world, but we can easily communicate with the entire group during our mastermind calls. So we're going to do this online together, and no matter where you are in the world, it can apply to you now because of what's actually taking place with things like GoToMeeting and Dropbox. So if you're interested in this sort of idea and want to be involved, here's what you need to do. Just fire off an email right now to support@preneurgroup.com with the subject line 7 Levers Mastermind. So that's an email to support@preneurgroup.com. Now, as I said, we're only going to have a handful of people in this mastermind group, and we're going to fill it on a first come, first served basis. I think it's probably going to be the fairest way to do it. Now, there's going to be an investment for this, but I can guarantee you it will not be anywhere near the $5,000 I usually charge for, as a minimum for personal coaching. I've got a client who pay me more than that. That's my normal minimum charge. It will be the first mastermind style group I've ever done as a coaching group style thing. I've participated, as I said, in many mastermind groups, and it's a mastermind group that got me my first book deal. It got me introduced to the team at Ernst & Young, which resulted in me being a Southern Region finalist in their Global Entrepreneur of the Year Awards. It's got me a whole bunch of other stuff that I know will work just as well in your business. So I won't be charging anywhere near what we charge for the one-on-one type stuff, but I also know that once this works, I won't charge anywhere near as low as I will for the very first mastermind group I put together. So if you want to work not only with me, but with Dom and a handful of other proactive entrepreneurs, just shoot an email right now to support@preneurgroup.com with the subject line 7 Levers Mastermind, and we'll be in touch. Make sure you put your contact details and stuff like in the body of the email, and any sort of questions you might have or information about yourself. But if you're keen, do it now. There's no obligation on any level. The email does not condone you being charged or saying you have to be in. It just helps me communicate with the people who are interested in this about this, rather than bombarding the podcast feed with all the information. So it basically says, put your hand up and you're interested. But we will fill the spots on a first come, first served basis. So whoever actually wants to actually take up and join this, we're going to make sure that the people who emailed us first get the first choice. So, emailing will get you to the head of the pack. I look forward to working with those of you who want to implement the 7 levers in your business. And if it's not right for you right now, no harm, no foul. Dom and I will catch you next week for another PreneurCast episode. So I will speak to you then with Dom about some more ways to grow your business. So I'll catch you next week on another PreneurCast episode.
You've been enjoying another fine episode of PreneurCast with Pete Williams and Dom Gosher. Make sure to hang out with the boys online at www.preneurmarketing.com or drop them a line via PreneurCast@preneurgroup.com.